Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thursday Night Farm. This is not some other show. This is Arsenal Fan Circle. Ray has left me the keys, so I get to drive. And Stan is with me. Stan, how are you doing?
I'm very well, mate. Good to be here. Looking forward to this evening's conversation.
Cool. I am SDWTT to some, Gary to others, and then we'll get going here. Not sure who's going to join. It's been a weird one since Ray's left. To go on vacation, enjoy time with family and whatnot. So it's been a while since I've done one of these. I think or was it just last Thursday? I can't even remember now. I think it was last Thursday. Or was it last? Yeah, it was last Thursday.
Yeah, we didn't have a show on Sunday. We had the last one, I think, last Thursday.
Yep. And the Sunday show not happening. That's probably on me. I was supposed to set that up, and I did a poor job. So, but we're here today, and we will talk about the football since. So, Arsenal played. They did play over the weekend, right? Now I'm getting all my days confused now. You did play over the weekend. I have to go back and see when we did. Yes, over the weekend we did play. Played Wolves. Won that 2-0 after getting knocked out of the Champions League. The Wolves match, I don't know about you, but for me, that Wolves match looked like a team that was either on their last leg or at least the style of play they decided to take looked like they were on the last legs, trying to just force their way through that 90-minute affair. They did get the win, but they did not look like a team. They looked a little tired. I don't know. What did you think about that Wolves match?
Yeah, they did look a little bit. They did look a little bit leggy in that particular match. But at the end of the day, we managed to again score 2 goals and keep a clean sheet. And when we look back in the record books, it won't have in brackets. Team looked really tired through this one. It would just say that we won. So I'll take it. I think the first goal was scored. Was it just be on half time? Trossard.
I think yes it was.
And then the second goal was right at the very end of the game, wasn't it? We had to wait right to the very end of the game to get another one from Odegaard.
Yeah. Lawrence, I don't know how does Ray usually get you the link. I thought I had sent you the link, and I have a feeling I did not. That is gonna be, yeah. How do you send me? Yeah, I'll send you the link, and you can just join from here. I'll make so.
Send the link to his X account.
Yeah, but do you know what it is? What his X account is? I thought I knew what it was, but now I'm thinking I don't.
No, let's get him to put it in the chat box.
Yeah, send me your Twitter link and I'll send it to you. I thought I had already, or maybe I'm confused.
Okay. It's got the number 1 in it. That's all I can remember. It's like SC1 or something like that. Can't remember. It doesn't. It's not Lawrence Emmanuel.
Okay. Yes, I don't know.
So on the back of that Wolves game,
yep.
Being that everybody looks like they were on their last legs, I was a little worried going into a game a few days later what that was going to look like, whether players would have had enough time to recover. But they do say, though, don't they? Footballers say that when you're winning, it's easier to go into the next game when you're winning. You know what I mean? Rather than being in the same point of the season and you can't get a point, you just get more tired. So maybe that's what's helping them get through.
Okay. Oh. Is it one CE? A Gooner is always a Gooner. Is that the one?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's it.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, that is it. Okay. All right. So here we go, Lawrence. I think I sent the link to somebody else, but luckily they not too happy here. So, oops. Let me send the link. Sorry about this. Well, Oh, I think I sent it twice, but there you go. You've got the link now, Lawrence.
Pretty
So
quiet in the chat box.
it is really quiet today. I don't know if the Sunday thing scared people off since we didn't have a show. I tried to push it out there, but we'll see. Yeah, yeah. Like you said, yeah, we did get we waited late in both halves to score a goal, but as you said, we did get a goal. Um, I was hoping that we'd be able to score early and often, and then give these guys a break. But some of them were destined to play 90 minutes, I guess.
Yeah.
But as you said, we got the win, and then we move on to the Chelsea match, which seemed like it could be a case of getting surprised by which Chelsea team was going to show up. One that
Well,
we
they're
played.
playing so badly at the moment, but I mean, there are, they've got quite a lot of players to choose from, and you never know. There's always that worry that the day that we play them is the day that maybe they start to get it right and somehow manage to forge out a result. But it wasn't to be. It was totally the opposite. I mean, as if I'm hearing it correctly, this is the highest scoring game that we've ever had against Chelsea, I believe, in the history of the fixtures, 5-0. So thank you very much. I mean, just as a little caveat, I mean, I really can't stand Chelsea as a football club. So I really thoroughly enjoyed, pumping them for 5 goals. I really enjoyed it because I just don't like Chelsea. Never have done.
Yeah, I know. I was happy to beat them. I guess I don't have as much hatred, for them as I do for other teams. They don't really. You never know what you're gonna get, but they didn't really concern me if we played anywhere near to our best. We looked a little shaky in that first half. We did have opportunities to score. We did not take them. That was the thing that concerned me a bit. They had some chances as well, which you would think,
But didn't we score that first goal quite early?
We scored it quite early, but then it kind of went back
very
and
early,
forth.
wasn't it? Trossard again.
3 minutes into the game.
4 minutes, something like that. Yeah, that's important. That's the important goal. I think that early goal kind of sets the tone a little bit as well.
True. Yeah, it's good to get the first goal, but then you have to get the second goal, right? You don't want to give the other team any kind of inkling or thought that, guess what, we can make a game of this, right? So that's kind of my concern is like, yes, we get the first one, but we need to double down kind of thing and show that, we can do this.
Let's spend a couple of minutes, if we can, just talking about Chelsea. I mean, what in the hell is going on at that club? I mean, it's unbelievable when you think of what's happened there since what they called Clear Lake investments have taken over with Todd Bowley. The amount of money that they've spent, the way that they were almost trying to just any player that we were going for or looked interested in, they were going in and gazumping it. And you look at how much their midfield costs compared to ours, for example, it's just ridiculous to see what's happening there. And now they're in a situation where they're stuck with these players for 8 years.
Yeah.
Unless they sell players at a huge loss just to get rid of them. They've really painted themselves into a corner. They really have. And it's quite enjoyable to watch. And the bullets that we've dodged in the ways of play. I mean, Caicedo looks really bad to me. He doesn't look anywhere near the valuation that Brighton were sort of saying that they needed to get from us for him. So glad we didn't get him. Mudrik's had a lot of game time now. He's not like he's a bit part player, and he doesn't look like to be improving in any shape or form.
Yeah, no, I think it's an environment thing. I don't think they are that bad. I do think because
they've had a couple of managers now, right? They had, who was before Potter? Who was before Potter? Graham Potter.
It wasn't
Thomas Tuchel.
No, before
Tuchel.
Tommy
Tuchel, wasn't it? Yeah. They fired him, which I think was very much of a clash of egos there. I don't know why Todd Bowley needed to think that he had to go in and start flexing rather than going in low key, seeing how the land lies, sitting back and observing for a little bit, to see what's going on rather than going in and just cleaning house straight away. I mean, they're talking about sacking Pochettino, and they're probably still paying off the previous 2 managers. I mean, are they really going to be in a situation where they hire somebody else and in the background they're quietly paying off 3 managers? That's not healthy.
Not at all. Not at all. No, I as I said, I think the environment is bad. It's why the players don't look so good. I don't think Mudryk is as good as we were hoping he would be, but I do believe Casado, and you even look at McAllister. I think these players would look really good in the Brighton system. So there is a quality there
Enzo
that you're looking
Fernandez.
at and that you
Wow.
saw, right? No, you see, like I think Casado would have worked fine for us. Would he have been a Rice? No, but he may have been able to push Rice up the pitch. You know what I mean? And then giving us a little bit more stability, a younger set of legs playing in that 6th role. He also
I think,
plays on the right,
I mean,
so
I'm
would
no,
have given Ben Wright some
I mean, I'm no
rest.
accountant, and I know we sort of talk about money all of the time, and it's not our money and stuff like that, and we always put a price on a footballer. But I'm looking at him, and I'm like, you wouldn't pay more than 35 million. Do you know what I mean? Let alone what they did pay for him.
Yeah, yeah. No, for sure, for sure. Well, I think, like I said, they skewed the market of course with their how much money they spent, and now they're gonna, like you said, they're gonna pay for it. They're gonna pay for it. I think it's an entire system breakdown. I mean, no matter who they bring in there, they need to bring in somebody really good at the top to figure this thing out. I don't think the managers have been as bad. I don't think the players have been as bad, but I think the entire system failure. You know what I mean? Like everything, any little thing, everything about it is just wrong. I mean, I
But
don't
it's
think.
not like this is Pochettino's first rodeo. I mean, he's
Yeah,
managed at Southampton, he's managed at Tottenham. He's had a crack at managing big names in PSG with big characters and lots of money.
yeah,
He's you'd think that he's you could call him a seasoned manager, right? He's not a novice by any shout, and it's just falling to pieces at Chelsea. I mean, Nicholas Jackson up front. I mean, what's going on there? I mean, they look like they'd be better off with Janet Jackson playing up front for them.
yeah. He
He doesn't
is.
want to head the ball, does he?
Yeah, doesn't
He's
want to
like,
hit the
oh,
ball. He doesn't like hitting the ball towards the goal, like the open spaces that are there. I mean, that his shot against us that's terrible. That's terrible. I mean, it's not as if he didn't have enough time to set up the shot. He was all by himself. All he had was a goalkeeper in front of him protecting the post, and he hit it wide of the mark still. So
I
he
also
is.
thought it was
Yeah,
very pleasing to see Kai Havertz not just get 1 goal but get a
mm,
brace.
yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah.
just because it was against Chelsea, but I've looked at times when we've had players playing through the middle, whether it be an Eddie or a Jesus. And I've always said, and I've said it a few times on this show, that they never look like they're the kind of striker that's going to play a game and get more than 1 goal. If they can get 1 goal, that's quite lucky. But they never look like the sort of player that can get a couple. So for Kai to go and do that, I was quite impressed because I've not seen it for so long from a forward. Someone playing in the forward role for Arsenal, they can bag a couple of goals and almost get a hat trick.
Yeah.
Eddie's hat trick against Sheffield, notwithstanding, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? It is, there's levels, as you say, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, like I said, I did. I went back. I watched it again. I kind of listened and watched it the first time, and I went back and watched it again because 5-0 wins. They don't happen. The way we dominate in the second half don't happen every day. And Kai Havertz, I mean, he was a little hesitant in that first half, and that's because he probably was asked to do things himself. It doesn't sound like he's willing to just. We always talk about just taking the ball, and so Lawrence, I know I just sent it to you, dude. Let me see. Let me make sure. Let me make
I
sure. I
think
could have
you're right
swore.
as well.
I could have swore I sent. Yeah. Let's see. I know I've sent it to that once a gooner, always a gooner. So yeah, let me just check again. Once a gooner, always a gooner. That's the weirdest thing. I know I've sent it to you. That is okay. Now I'm confused. Do you have more than one? You might have more than one. Yeah. Let's see if I can find. Okay, no, it's. I've
Why don't
sent
you
you.
just put the link in the chat box and let him join that
Yeah,
way?
yeah. I've sent it to that. I'm looking at it right now. But here you go. You can. Let's see. Use. Oh, that's not the link. Let me send you the link here. Just a second. Yeah.
Lawrence is reminding me of Alan Partridge when he's that episode where he saw Dan across the car park and he was going, Dan.
Yeah.
Dan.
Yeah. I've
Dan.
sent it to you. You can. I even did a search on that one. I sent it. So there's the link there. You
Dan.
can come and join.
Dan. I don't think you can hear me. Dan. Brilliant.
Sorry about that interruption there. Yeah.
Come and hurry up, Lawrence. I'm about the toilet.
Oh.
Yeah,
welcome
Stefan
to the show. Yeah, actually got Stefan has joined us. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
That is, you know what? There is somebody else with the exact same thing as that. I can swear. When I put that in, yours comes up. It says once always. It doesn't say once a gooner, always a gooner. So let me so there you go. You got it there. All right, so let's go.
There he is.
Hey there.
About bloody time.
Yeah, I've sent it to you. So I don't know.
No.
I sent it to your Twitter, so maybe unless I have the wrong, like I sent it to Twitter, I swear it's yours. It actually has your Facebook in it. So if you don't use Twitter, then I don't know. But anyways, welcome to the show, Lawrence.
Better late than never.
Yeah. We're here. We'll be here for a bit. So yeah, we started talking about the games that we missed since the last time we've been on. Got into the Chelsea match and then started talking about Chelsea itself, how pretty much poor of a club they are. What are your thoughts on this Chelsea project?
Is it a project?
It is. It doesn't mean it's a good one, but it's a project.
It reminds me to what we were about 5 to 6, I think, no, longer than that, about 10 years ago during the last days of Wenger's reign. That's what it reminds me of.
Wow.
I mean, if I went back in a time machine back 10 years ago, it would have been Arsenal under Arsene Wenger during the last year of his reign. I mean, I could feel the anger from all the Chelsea fans out here. I mean, I know a few of them, and I've spoken to them, and they're not happy campers.
Yeah. No. I mean, I think they've been looking for a big proper name, and they haven't really got that yet. I'll say hello to everybody. Stefan, welcome. Tiger and Gunnar, welcome to the show. Where is Ray? Ray's enjoying a little time with the family and stuff. So
he's in Ireland.
Yeah, he's back
home. He's probably in mourning over Liverpool's result yesterday.
That as well. Yeah.
That crossed my mind.
He's got his red tops all screwed up. He doesn't know which one. He really is. Yeah. I know it's poor in terms of performances, but I don't think we went £1 billion poor. You know, we didn't spend anywhere near that money.
Can I ask Lawrence a question? Lawrence, did you enjoy the Chelsea game?
Did I enjoy what?
The Chelsea game. Because you always tell me that you're always like, I'm worried or
I mean,
I'm worried. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling better. Well, when I say better, I mean
it was good, wasn't it?
Deflated after Man City.
It was good
after
though,
what
wasn't it?
Man City did today.
No, come on.
It was
Don't
good.
do it. No, don't do it.
It could have been more. It could have been more, Stan. It could have been more, Stan. You've got to admit.
We won 5-0, and they got not one shot on target.
Yeah, but I mean, if we dissect the game, we took our foot off the pedal like we normally do in that first half. We got off to a great start, and instead of making it even better, we allowed Chelsea back into the game. And if it wasn't for Nicholas Jackson, in saying that, second off, never in a million years did I think that Ben White would score 2 goals in a game. But his second goal, I mean, I think we should give him a Brazilian name now after that second goal.
Call him Benigno or something.
Benigno.
I have to say, as we're speaking about Ben White, he's fast becoming a favourite. I try not to have favourites anymore and just look at them as units of production that can be upgraded and have no sort of emotion attached to them. But Ben White, man, I mean, he is one cool customer. He should be allowed to play football wearing a pair of jeans, a leather jacket, sunglasses, and a match in his mouth like the Fonz, because he's that cool.
Did you see the way he bundled Cucurella in the box during the corner?
I reposted that and said, and I put in the quote something about us having a soft underbelly, because people always say that. Well, that's gone. Ben White just threw him out like the garbage.
Ben White on the corners is the best. That's some serious entertainment, because everybody's trying to get at him, and he's like he's got no expressions at all. And
he's like a greased pig. You can't grab hold of him. He just pops out of your arms. You can't get hold of him.
Don't let those eyebrows fool you. Is the real deal.
Yeah. No, he's
that second goal was very good.
Yeah.
And he scored in the previous game as well. He's I don't think he's ever scored more than 2. I think the commentator said he's never scored more than 2 goals in a season. Is either a season or his career, something like that.
He didn't score against Wolves. He didn't score against Wolves.
He scored recently, didn't he? I remember him scoring really recently.
Yeah, Sheffield United.
Yeah.
The last goal against Sheffield United
might have been very recent. One of the recent games.
I mean, last year he scored 2 goals, and he's on 4 right now. So he doesn't score a lot, but he has scored. So it might have been 2 in a game, but he's only scored 6 for Arsenal. So yeah, he's not prolific on the scoring. No, but you know what? He does what we need him to do on that right side, and I definitely believe he helps out Odegaard and Saka. So
while we're talking about the defense, I thought Tomiyasu had a good game as well.
Yeah, not bad coming back.
Yeah. But but the only reason why but he not so much on that one play where he kind of got turned by Jackson and left on the ground. That was his man. So he's still not 100% back yet. But in all, he's been playing pretty well. I think that's why they're still looking for a left back still. He's better than what we got, but he's not probably not what they want.
Did you see the goal Julian Timbers scored for the under-21s during the week?
Yeah, Henri style.
Fuck. Yeah.
Henri style, man, big time. That's like an Henri goal, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, more like Dennis Bergkamp.
Shades, yeah. But very pleased with that Chelsea game in all. I was. The goal difference as well. We're scoring so many goals now that if it does go down to the wire with us in City, we've got to have a little bit of an edge there. But I do wish that we had another game in between Chelsea and Tottenham. Because I'm really enjoying lording it over Tottenham, and I don't want it all to be cut off within a week. Because you look at Liverpool. Liverpool are riding high, and they go to play a team like Everton, who is, their rival, much in the way that Tottenham are ours, and they didn't get the result that they wanted. So I don't want to be, you know what I mean? When I'm laughing this week, I don't want to be licking my wounds next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because form goes out of the window when you come to derby matches like this. There's always
Exactly.
Players always seem to raise their levels. If one team's going through the doldrums, that goes out of the window for that match.
Yeah. So if we get another clean sheet on Sunday, we'll have equalled the record for the most consecutive clean sheets, which is held by Chelsea and Man United. We've got 6. If we get a 7th, then we've equalled the record for away clean sheets in away games.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd throw it in there.
Yeah, no, I guess how I'm feeling the football gods and the league and the officials and everything will be, nah, we can't have that. And Son needs a little. Son's always been a pain in our side. So at the least he'll give them a chance to score. We'll see what we do with him. But I think there's lots of things going against that clean sheet. But yeah, I want us to be closer to a clean sheet, if not a clean sheet, because that's what we know. We've got it, and we've got control.
Did anybody expect?
Oh, by the way,
I was just going to say, did
by the way,
anybody expect Everton to beat Liverpool 2-0? Because I didn't. I didn't. So it just goes to show you with the games that everybody's got now, these last 4 games, points can be dropped anywhere where you don't expect them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's no way I expected Everton to do them 2-0 and then not score a goal.
There's still a lot of twists. I mean, as I say, I think Forest are going to give Man City a surprise at the weekend after what happened to them last week.
I think everybody's going for that in the upset pick, don't they?
Yeah. Don't be surprised if they get a penalty, a dodgy penalty.
But that might be one way for them to get in the game. I don't know. You gotta have you can't be expecting a lot of luck to beat City.
Let me ask you something, right? Let me ask you something, Gary.
They're coming at teams like Foden seems to be enjoying himself out there right now.
Oh, doesn't he?
Like every day, he's like KDB. Who? We don't need a KDB, even though KDB started the show today.
Good header.
Started the scoring today, but KDB's doing anything he can. You know what I mean? And everything he can. Like his passing has been crisp and perfect. When he's come on of late, and now he's put a header in. Like I think I think he's on his last legs, so he's gonna give them anything he can. I don't know if you think he'll last. I don't think he'll last through the rest of the season playing, at that level for an entire game. So that might be one way they can make struggle. But Foden's been doing a little bit of work as well.
Let me ask you, Gary. Right, looking at the last couple of games since we've last spoken on the channel, Wolves, but more importantly, Chelsea and the way that we've played, has it done anything in your mind to when you look at where you now think that we are going to finish at the end of the season? Has it given you confidence in a way where you think that we can go all of the way, and if someone drops points, we're in? Or are you still, or I'm not saying are you still, but do you think City are still going to find a way, because they've got that game in hand, they're still going to find a way to do us by a couple of points?
I am. I don't. They don't. I mean, since they got. I mean, think about it. All they have left. They have a final after the regular season, right? So all they have is these games, and probably the way they went out was probably
they got 4 games as well. No, how many games have they got left?
They got to make up a game, so they've got
5.
What is it? We got 5 to make 5 plus the final. So I kind of feel like we have to hope for some luck, and we got the luck once, so we're gonna get it a second time. We got the luck one time, and we didn't take advantage of it, and we're gonna have to hope for that again. Are the teams gonna be able to get one on them? I don't know. It's gonna be tough, I think. I'm fearful that we go undefeated and still miss out.
Just use dropping points and what we've got left, guys. Yeah. Where do you think where do you think the danger is? Do you think we're
see,
going to
Well,
finish? We're going to
Sunday.
win every game, or is there danger
Sunday.
somewhere this week?
I think Tottenham. Yeah,
we are not
Because-
there yet. I'm still. We can drop points in any game, right? We've shown it all season. So, if there's like when there is pressure on us, we've always kind of like not been able to answer the call, right? These last two games City didn't play, so it wasn't like, well, City just won, now you need to go out there and win, right? Whenever City plays before us, I don't know, I think Arteta's too busy reading the stats on the game as opposed to getting his team prepared to play, because that's what should have happened against Villa. Here's an opportunity, guys, to go out there and get this thing done. Let's do it, and they came out like a team that was too busy thinking about what could have been as opposed to going out there and doing it. So I don't know. We're not one of those teams that right now can answer the call when it comes, can answer those questions when they come, right?
My biggest worry is that in the games that we've got left, and with how tired the players are looking, for example, Martin Odegaard is very instrumental to when we have good days, and at the moment, if he has to come out for any reason, whether it's because he's tired during a game or he has to miss a game, is there anyone really that goes into that place? Do you know what I mean? Where you don't see a huge drop off. ESR, no. Teabag, not so sure. Although he did look quite nice for the 15 minutes that he came on the right hand side. I thought he looked very good. But is he going to be able to? Are we going to close our eyes and still think Odegaard's in there? Probably not. So, do you know what I mean? Another one, Megalegs at the back, who's played every minute almost of nearly every game. It feels like.
No, it's Saliba who's played every minute,
and him as well. Both of them. You could say both of them. If anything, one of them starts to get a bit jaded, and they have to come out. Do you know what I mean? I'm concerned that we've just got that little bit left, but because of how small our team is, and it's small in the way that Mikel doesn't trust a few players, so they're never going to get on. Is it too much for the 13, 14 players that we are using? Do you know what I mean? Declan Rice, for example, do you know what I mean? Like he's been going pretty strong, but is he going to be able to see it through? We're very lucky that Thomas Partey looks like he's just been coming back into the fold at a really good time. We really need those legs. So that's my biggest worry if we're going to run out of steam.
By the way, Gary.
Yeah.
Congratulations, David Raya, for winning the Golden Glove for this season.
That's correct. I heard about that.
Yeah,
confirmed, is it?
Yeah.
Take my hat off to him.
I think he's got so many that everybody behind him. I think he's got he's doing No, he's he's been part of that. Some people will say it's not just him, right? But it was he did make some saves, so yeah, that's pretty good.
His first full season at Arsenal, and I those two penalty saves, magnificent.
Yeah.
So fair play to him.
I would rather win. I don't know for you guys, but I'd rather win the league at Old Trafford, and just come home and be able to enjoy ourselves against Everton.
Do you know that if we win on Sunday, it will be St. Tottenham Day?
There you go. Yeah. Well, you know what? So you said that's just going to be a regular thing for us. It can't be like a trophy like it's been for other teams in the past, right? So,
if we win on Sunday, I'm going to find it really difficult to try and remain level-headed about the season and try to be methodical. I think if we win on Sunday, I'm going to get fully sucked in, and I'm going to believe that we can win the league. If we really do a number on Tottenham, a convincing win, I'm gonna find it hard to try and just be pragmatic about things. I think I'm just going to be like, to the end of the season.
Yeah, beating them at home again. It's we did beat them. What was it last season? It was last season, wasn't it?
Yeah,
we beat them twice, right?
Yeah, 2-0.
Yeah, so
did a double over them.
Yeah, so we need to continue. We need to get the win this time. We haven't got a win yet. Fabio Vieira looked. Yeah,
Sorry.
Fabio Vieira looked okay coming in, but he hasn't played enough football to even,
No.
like you said, to give Odegaard a break for any time. So I do, and I've said it before. I think Partey and Jesus for me are two players that I think will help us see through the rest of this season. Partey's showing it already, right? We saw a little bit of it in the when he came in at late in the game, and then we saw a full game of him. I mean, if he can go, you just play him. I don't like this is the one we wanted to play him for. You know, the next one after that would be Old Trafford, but the man needs to play some football based on what we just saw. Let's do it again. Yep. Congratulations to Ria. Yeah.
I think Declan Rice looks more comfortable when he's got Thomas Partey playing alongside him.
Yeah, it allows Declan to go hunting, right? When you got Partey, he can go hunting and do more damage.
Yeah. We saw that when he came in, right? As soon as he came in against Wolves, you saw like Rice just like his eyes lit up. And he was just like, all right, let's go on the attack. Come on, guys. Come with me. Let's go try to get a goal here. Come on.
Come to the promised land.
So, yeah, I think he's enjoying the freedom he gets when he's playing there. So, yeah, that's right. Alexis Sanchez wins another league title, I believe it is.
Oh,
so
fair play to him.
Yeah. So I saw your comment there. It was Felix Gunner about Player of the Year. We'll get to that in a little bit because there's been a lot of talk, of course, about who should win that one. And the names you put up there aren't the ones I've heard. Yeah. Yep. They like your comments there, BX. I'm sorry, Lawrence. What am I saying? I'm off Sunday. That means yes. BX gonna enjoy your comments. Yeah.
No, thank you, BX.
Lawrence nicked that. I got to copyright on it. So yeah. See, Fabio hustles and isn't afraid to strike the ball. I like that. He still has a part to play. He does, but like late in games, right? That's what he's gonna do. He's like, for me, he hustles, and that's the same thing. I think Nelson does for us, but Arteta wants something else from him that he's not giving him, right? So Sackers is going to play out, these games. Liam will know.
Right.
Yep, that's right. Yep. Now it should be. Liam will be actually. I think Liam's. Oh, it's a away game. You're right. So early morning game. It's like 9 o'clock for us over here. So it's a good way to start in the morning.
It's 6 o'clock here on the West Coast.
Oof.
Yeah.
As long as hopefully it makes the rest of your day good. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. If we win Sunday, I'm going to be on the amber liquid all day. So.
Yeah.
I just really want to. I really want to stick it to them.
No, definitely. Yeah, we've when I think we weren't going to respond, we responded. So we need to do it one more time. We need to hit them hard and fast, basically. So
yeah,
it'd be nice to say Partey come out at halftime and put Jorginho in. I say that, and hopefully I didn't jinx it, but I think Partey haven't played what? I don't know if he played the full game. No, he didn't play the full game because you put Jorginho in late in the half. So,
but players like Thomas Partey and Teabag, right? They should be really smart because if I was in their position, I've not played as many games as everybody else. Everybody else is tired. I may be coming back from injury or whatever, but I'm not going to be tired, right? And here we are in a pole position almost to win the league when everybody else has done all of the hard work. I would be running everywhere around, behind the scenes. If I've got to go anywhere, I'd always be jogging. I'd always be making the boss hear that I'm not tired at all. Running everywhere, jogging everywhere, chomping at the bit. Because you can come in now and steal the show. You can come in as a Vieira and score a winning goal against Tottenham and go down as a legend and just come sliding into the team and, do you know what I mean? Steal the show. You've got it in you. You can do something. You can be like, I could be the one of that. Even though they'd have done the hard work, I'll be the one that will be remembered. I'll get that winner at Tottenham, or I'm the one that gets it at Man United. And, that's how I would be thinking. I'd be constantly saying around Mikel Arteta, I feel great. I'm not tired at all. Running everywhere so that he sees me. He's always running. Look at him. He's got so much fucking piss and vinegar in him. I've got to play him. That's what I'd be doing.
Mhm.
And you should be able to have hopefully like work on the things that Arteta wants. I mean, I don't understand. Like
Staying late, coming in early.
There's no excuse for like not getting Arteta what he wants to see, because I believe he's was whatever you do in practice. How do you get up for a 9 a.m. kickup? I'm usually up anyways, so it's a little bit easier. But instead of like maybe going to
Gary's just getting in from the clubs.
No clubs for me, man. I don't do that stuff. That's maybe the young me, but nah, can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's on at 6 o'clock out here on the West Coast. So
Yeah.
at least you can go out and party.
6 o'clock here, but I'm getting up for that one. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's for football. We want to be able to laugh at that team. So how about it? Let's do that.
So as we're kind of talking a little bit now about this next fixture, why don't we talk about who we want to see play? Personally, I'm like, stick with the lineup from the last game. If it ain't broke, if they're all able to like run around and put the same team out, that's what I'd like to do. Don't change.
Yeah, you can't afford. We can't afford to put Smith Rowe or El Neni in. It's got to be the same 11.
Oh,
well, bringing a Jesus.
I can't even believe you brought those names up. Those names are so far away from my thought process. As like, they play for Arsenal.
You're one step away from bringing Tavares back offline and Lokonga.
I know exactly. You like bringing up all these names and stuff.
Yeah,
like, what are you doing? You're like rolling the dice. Like, who can get in here? Can I? Who can get in here?
I was talking more about Zinchenko and Jesus, not bringing them back in. He's going right down there, man, to the well.
It's like, can we bring Nuno back? That's what you're saying. It's almost like,
yeah. What's those like?
As Tony would say, Arteta's got his crayons out.
No.
What about you guys? Would you change anything from that lineup from the last game if they can all go? Why can't Partey play again? He's not played in ages.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, there's nothing to change.
I'll start him.
And I think Partey didn't have to play the whole match, right? So he should be ready to go.
Yeah.
And I think he came out. When did he come out?
Whereas we lost an important piece last season in Saliba right at a vital moment, maybe this could be a reverse where we're getting a vital piece back for the last few games, which could really be helpful, man. Because no doubt about it, Thomas Partey is a fantastic football player. Let's not make any bones about that. The problem is that we don't get to see enough of him. That's always been the problem, availability. Other than that, he can do so much in that midfield.
Because he's always injured.
On the half turn and passes the ball and then manages to get his shoulder in front of the player and on the half turn. Fantastic. Just don't see enough of it.
Yeah. No,
he's always injured.
Yeah, he makes it so easy though, and like that's the one thing I remember. Like he's that calming influence on the pitch. Like people, I think they know when he's playing good. You can see it. Like they're not gonna press us much in that midfield because they know he'll just punish them. So I just give him the ball. He's always willing to take that ball in the middle, and that's something we don't get from Rice isn't at that point yet. I think in his career,
they're very different. Partey will get the ball half turn and he'll ping it somewhere, whereas Rice will actually carry the ball up yardage and gain the yardage that way by carrying the ball and then passing it. So together, having them together, it's a shame that we all know that Thomas Partey is not going to be here next season. And if you was the manager, you know that you can't rely on him. You need someone who can do. You need someone that can do the same job and playing that same way, but it's going to give you the minutes.
Yeah, and so as somebody who saw Partey play in the North London derby at the Emirates, he was so dominant in that game. I mean, nothing got past him, and then he did score in that game, and you could see a lot of that in the Chelsea match. I mean, that ball barely ever got through the midfield, right? I mean, he's just there.
Isn't it strange that he never got injured when he was at Atletico Madrid? But when he joined us,
do you know why? He only played like 70 minutes at Atletico Madrid. He very up. Apparently, I asked that same question, and someone that used to watch the Spanish league, I didn't, said he very rarely played 90 minutes every week. He was 70 minutes, and they change it around. So maybe that's got something to do with it. I don't know. But my image will always be, my lasting image of Thomas Partey will always be him trying to hobble off the pitch, and Mikel Arteta just going, "No, you don't," and literally just pushing him back onto the pitch.
Yeah. That's one of those things where you're like, Arteta, you didn't do your research. You didn't do your research. Like you didn't like the numbers. Let the numbers speak for you. He doesn't play a full 90. He doesn't play 30+ games in a season. Make that be a lesson. Maybe hopefully that's a lesson for him. You're going to get a really good player, but you're going to have to minimize his minutes and games.
It seems to be that they're talking about the replacement for Partey in the team is this Martin Zubimendi, who I have to admit I know very little about. Martin Zubimendi. I don't
believe he's a 6, though. I don't think he's a 6.
He is, but his build, from what I can see, he looks more like a Torreira kind of in his build. I might be wrong. Do you know what I mean? Rather than a gangly, Thomas Partey is quite a tall, gangly, long-legged guy, right? This guy looks a little bit more on that sort of Torreira sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? We're linked with everybody, apparently.
Very true. Yeah,
Bruno Guimaraes.
Yeah.
Bruno Guimaraes. Yeah.
Question, right? If you could, from Newcastle, right? If you could either take Bruno Gummy Bears or Alexander Isak, who you taking?
Isak.
You said only get to choose one. That's terrible. Yeah. Why would you do that to me?
Because they're not letting us take both. There's no way they are going to let us take both of their.
Well, Isak, I think might be able to get a better deal for him because it isn't.
But who do you think would be what we need more?
I think Gramage is what we need more.
Really?
What we need more because who's going to replace Partey? And we know how we play when we have a Partey-like player, a bulldog in the middle, right? Like for me, I feel like our midfield is key to this entire thing. If you weaken it, right, you sell Partey, right? Jorginho might leave. Right?
Yeah, that's right. El Nenny's definitely
you're going to be down 2 players that play in the
El Nenny's going. His contract's finished.
El Nenny's, so that's like 3 players that play that role. Who's going to take it?
Yeah, but Gary, we need a striker. We need an out-and-out striker. It doesn't matter if you
can't get the ball to him because your midfield's terrible. We lose games in the midfield, and our striker is irrelevant unless they're
so good.
A player that can take the ball. But we can't get the ball to him. What if we can't get the ball to him?
Gary, I've been watching Isak recently in that, right? And he's probably, for me, the closest player who looks like, like the way that Thierry Henry could play. What I mean is by that, creating stuff out of nothing. He can be on the left side of the pitch, by the side of the goal, with loads of players around him, and he fucking wriggles out of it and puts someone in or scores it himself. He takes players on when he dribbles. He usually completes his dribbles. He's very. Not only does he score, he sets other players up. I think he's brilliant. I think he's fantastic. That guy.
Yeah, but you only give me one. You're giving me one, and then you're gonna kill my midfield.
But there's other midfielders out there that I think that we could, perhaps get. But if we're looking for that piece in the middle, that crown, that cherry, that tip. From the strikers that I've seen, and don't get me wrong, I don't know too much about what's the guy, Garakis, the one from Sporting Lisbon who used to play for Coventry. Gyökeres, I don't know too much
Gyökeres,
about him.
Gyökeres or whatever. Yeah.
Gyökeres. And then there's the other one, Benjamin Sesko. I don't know too much about
Did
him either.
Just remember, you just watched what we look like when we have a party-like player in the
Isak,
midfield.
man. Isak
No.
looks business.
Step back. You just saw what happens when you have a party-like player in the midfield. Were you not entertained? Or did you not?
But do you think
enjoy
that's gummy bears?
Chelsea
Then
match?
you think that you think it has
That's
to be
more
Bruno
gummy
Guimaraes?
bears than it is Isak with no Partey, Jorginho, El Neni, and who knows what we're gonna put there. Arteta likes to build from the back, right? He's changed his goalkeepers every other season. He's got a solid center back pairing. He loves his right back. He brought in Timber. I mean, he's got answers all on that back line. He gets Rice and he has Partey. You see what it looks like when they play.
I'm just saying, I think there's other midfielders that could do the job. And I would want Bruno Guimaraes, but I don't think Newcastle would sell two players. And then I got to sell that. I don't think they're going to sell Bruno Guimaraes and Isak to Arsenal. So if I had to choose one, the reason I take Isak, I think he would fit our play so well. And then, of course, we have to buy midfielders. But maybe just not Bruno Guimaraes.
Oh, you're gonna. I just say, like I said, I think you're weakening. Like you have Odegaard, you have Rice, and then you sound like you're just gonna fill it in with whoever. And I'm like, why don't you just make that player, because he's gonna be part of your spine. Make it worth your while. Not like, well, we'll just play you here, right?
That.
You know what I mean?
I really like this guy. Seriously, it's only been recent as well. It's only been recently I've been watching him and looking at stuff, and I'm like, wow, this guy's really good.
Yeah, but Stan, they might have to sell both of them to us because of financial fair play.
But I'm saying is, I could see them maybe selling both, but I don't see them selling them both to one team, like, you know, to make us stronger in that way. I don't think they'd allow it.
Uh-oh, people, we might be. This might be a show. This might be an episode of Cops.
It's the Graham. It's the Graham police.
The Arsenal fan circle's gone Cops version right here.
Hey, hold on.
Hold on a minute. This
hold on. Let me. Is that like a signal? What is that? Is it like doing signals to the cop outside? I'm safe.
Tony, twist.
He can't find his crayons. Someone's stolen his crayons.
Oh my gosh.
They finally worked out what happened to them hitchhikers.
There you go.
Ooh, what's bad? They're actually two cars out there still.
Tony, just go, mate. Don't make it a problem. Go easily. Let your lawyers sort it out.
Exactly. Don't try to roll away from them. All right.
Don't make it any more difficult than it needs to be.
Yeah, the Haji Wright actually looked all right, but he's still young. I mean, he gives me closer to
5 hours from now. They'll be flying helicopters over the roof, playing loud Christmas music like they did at Waco.
Yeah.
To flush him out, to flush Tony out.
Now, like you said, there are a lot of midfielders. I just feel like let's just make it strong. I get the striker part. I just feel like a midfielder giving us.
I want that, but what I'm saying is, if out of those two from that team, they ain't going to give us both, then I want a midfielder. But Isak, I'm convinced that he'd be perfect for us, man. Seriously, the way that guy plays is brilliant, and he's doing it already in the league, in this league. So
Tony froze on this.
I still think it.
You're freezing with us, Tony. We didn't hear that last comment.
I said I think it's crazy that there's a player that we could have had for £32 million. Now we're willing to pay up to 90 million for him.
He wasn't proven, like, you know what I mean? You weren't proven. Gamble might not have worked out.
I mean, the reason, you take
now
risks.
Now it's worth the money because you know you're like, well, this guy's going to hit the ground running, right? It's worth the money. No gamble. It's a sure deal.
Yeah, Arteta wasn't going to take risks on a striker. If you saw everything he's done, right? He'll take risks on his back line and goalkeepers and stuff. We'll go spend money, but
I was talking about with midfielder, Gary.
Oh, which midfielder are you talking about? You think Gourmand? Like I think the Gourmand thing. What is it? What do you think happened there? I thought it just was not a deal they wanted to make. It never even happened.
Yes, it sounded like it was. Then.
Yeah, supposedly it wasn't even a deal. It was just maybe rumors and stuff like that. So
Hi, Lawrence.
Hi, Tony. How's it going?
It's going all right.
Good.
I got my secret ingredient to my coffee.
Okay, what is that?
That would be keef, Gary, with stuff you grind up. It's all the little crystals of your weed. If it's slightly heated up, you get a good experience from edibles without all the crazy stuff you have to do to make edibles. You just stick it in your coffee and you feel good.
All right, so there you go, people. That was getting high with Tony on coffee.
Tony's coffee tip.
There you go, and then you have to double down with a soda.
Yeah. It's crazy. This is. I'm trying to find where they have it at. But it's actually the 20th anniversary of Baja Blast. That's how long it's been since Taco Bell first came up with it.
Taco Bell. All right. So you know what? Since we were just talking about players, let's get into it. There was a comment here about Play of the Year. Ollie Watkins or Odegaard is Player of the Year for BX Gunner. Anybody got
Odegaard.
Odegaard?
Odegaard.
Do you think he is that he is the only player? Like, is there other players maybe?
Granted, Watkins has improved this season, but I'd give it to Odegaard just because of he creates stuff.
I'm going to give it to Odegaard. I'm giving it to Odegaard because I support Arsenal and I'm heavily biased. But Ollie Watkins has had a great season, good season, and when I was talking about Isak, he's also on the list, maybe behind Isak or in third place. If I had a little list going on, he had a very good season.
I mean, some people would say, why? What about Foden? If City were to go on and win this thing,
he's good.
Why would Foden?
I don't think he's quite enough.
Foden's nominated.
Did you see what he did? Did you see what he did today against Brighton? He was charging into the Brighton area, and he dived inside the Brighton box. He didn't get tripped up by a Brighton player, and the referee gave City a free kick from which they scored from.
Yeah. There you go.
Of course they did.
I saw that. As he was running, and his back leg went. When you run and your back leg goes behind you in that motion, as it went back, it touched the guy's behind him leg, so then he falls over. So the guy who hadn't made a tackle on him, he caused his leg to touch the other guy, and then caused a fall. Penalty. There you go. That's how easy it is.
Easy it is when you have friends in the business,
but
right?
Why didn't VAR get involved? They tell the referee.
You can't do it for a free kick, though. You can only do that for like scoring plays, yellow cards, and stuff like that.
I'll read what
talking about
says
this,
here.
right? As we've kind of moved into refereeing and that thing, I mean, there's a really big thing that happened this week with Nottingham Forest, which I'm sure you've all seen. And they put that tweet out, which really got a lot of heat. And they were basically sort of, I'm paraphrasing, they were like, we're sick and tired of this. This has happened to us now a number of times, and we've complained to the PGMOL, and we told them before the match that the person operating VAR was a Luton fan, supporter, and wanting them removed, and they didn't listen to us. And now this has happened. This is 3 penalty decisions, and we're now going to consider our options. And it's like, well, what fucking options? You don't want to play any more
Yeah,
matches?
you know,
I'll read to you, Stan, what ESPN, the headline is there. Forest Row shows size of task refs face in adapting to demands of VAR era. As Nottingham Forest rage and Stuart Atwell is selected to Euro 2024. Is the refereeing really in crisis? And what's to be done about it?
I mean, there's all this. I've seen the pundits talk about it, and they're like, Forest are out of order. They're saying that basically the referees are dishonest. To me, it's almost like saying, like,
well, they
I'm
are.
a vicar. I'm a vicar, therefore I never do anything wrong. Well, that isn't the case. There are some vicars out there that do things that are wrong. So there are probably referees out there that are dishonest. I'm not saying that all of them
They are.
But
Yeah.
if Nottingham Forest are going to make an accusation, then they need to have evidence if they're going to put it out in the public like that. So it's a bit.
Did you hear that Forest are suing Sky Sports because of what Gary Neville said? And what Sky have done is they've banned Sky have now banned Gary Neville from doing the punditry work at the Forest Man City game on Sunday.
I mean, is that gonna does that fix or solve or anything?
They're giving yellow cards now to fucking pundits and stuff.
Yeah, I know. This is what I'm telling you. I'll tell you, I wouldn't be surprised if Forest get a dodgy penalty on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they get that dodgy penalty when they're up 1-0 early in the game.
Yeah.
Because I you know, I don't.
Or in the
or
in the 89th minute.
See, they've Nottingham Forest. They've hired Mark Clattenburg, the ex-referee, who a lot of people within the game say that at that particular time when he was a referee, he was probably the best referee in England, and they've hired him now as a consultant. But I mean, what exactly does he do? What happens? Right, every time they get a penalty decision, do they mail him a video of it, and he looks at it and he writes back, "Yeah, right decision" or "No, wrong." And then I mean, what are they paying him for? What does he actually do? How does it help? I mean, he's got no influence.
Yeah.
Fair play to him, though. He's getting the bag, right? Fair play.
Yeah.
But I mean, but what really? What is it? What can it do? Do you know what I mean?
Well, it can stir things up. I mean, apparently, I was reading that Keith Hackett, who was a very controversial referee himself in the 80s.
Yeah, I know Hackett. Yeah.
He said that Clattenburg should step down because he's instigated all of this.
Well, that's what he's being paid for. He's got to do something, can he? He's got to earn his money. That's what they're paying him for, right?
You know what? There might be a line in the sand, but if you sit back and try to be, political about it and do it the proper way, what change do you think happens? None. So I have a feeling like you just try different things until they wake up and do something about it, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, but you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna happen now. Stuart Atwell won't be allowed to referee another Forest game now. Because of this.
What's going to happen eventually? No referees will be able to referee any game?
It's going to come.
Yeah, see, that's the thing it's not making any sense, right? That doesn't make any sense. Like, if you can't referee any game. No.
How can he after this? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Stuart Atwell took Nottingham Forest to court for slander. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I mean, I don't like Stuart Atwell myself. I think he's one of the worst referees ever. I mean, I still remember the game against Man City where he sent, Gabriel off and gave City a penalty right at the end of the game while Martin Odegaard gets gets chopped down by Edison, and he gives nothing for it. And personally, I can't see him ever refereeing a game involving Forest again because of this. Because the PGMOL won't have the balls to do it. Because in a way, Forest have now got their way. Because he will never ever officiate a Nottingham Forest game again.
Yeah, I just don't get the whole keeping referees from being able to referee at certain stadiums. At some point, that means your business is running correctly, right? I mean, that's the kind of, you know what I don't like is that you're watching the game and the commentary from the VAR is being played into the ears of those who are watching it, and you know how those conversations are going based on whether it's something that the officials want to be let out, because sometimes they'll give you hints of exactly what's being said, and then when it gets really controversial, they don't have anything to say.
Yeah.
Right? They have nothing to say. Right? And you're like, what's up with this? When a player's getting chopped down, and what was it? Jackson should have gotten a red card. Did you hear them mention anything? The line went dead, man. The line went dead. The broadcast, they had nothing to say. Even after when they showed the replay, like they weren't telling you what they were saying from VAR at that point. You're like, are you serious? The guy, is a blatant red, right? So I don't like the fact that they have the audio being played for someone who's telling you how the game's going, because now they can't give you their real feelings sometimes,
It's funny you should say that, Gary, because I watched the MLS games this weekend, and they've brought in VAR where you can actually hear what the referee. That the referee is now like an NFL referee, where the decision, he announces it to everyone in the stadium.
Yeah.
So that everyone in the stadium knows what's going on. They implemented this change this past weekend.
Is that enough though, or do you like it better? Rugby does, where the whole thing's what's going on constantly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the thing in rugby and cricket is when they go to review, it only takes like 10 seconds to come up with the.
Because they're communicating.
They're good, yeah.
The entire time.
These referees and VARs in football, they don't know the Scooby what they're doing. It takes them 6 to 7.
I've always thought one of the easiest ways that I think to fix VAR and to get some of the controversy out of it is that, believe it or not, there's a lot of people out there that don't like football. It's not their sport. They don't watch football. They don't really support a team at all. Some of those people are quite highly educated, got universities, bachelor degrees, different walks of life. Why don't they just hire people to work in VAR that are from this pool of people that don't actually even enjoy watching football, support a team, but are looking for jobs that pay them good money? And, you can interview people and select the right person and then train them the rules. You train them how to use the equipment, how it all works. And then you have these group of people working in VAR. Why does it have to be referees who also ref matches when they're not refereeing? Why can't it be independent people that are trained to do the job? You can train people to do jobs, right? You can train people to be fucking astronauts. Yeah, but you can train people who don't like football to understand the rules and operate.
You know what? To me, it doesn't matter all those things. The thing that matters is whether you're accountable for your employees, right? If the PGML is doing their job, if a referee is not doing their job, there should be some consequences for it, right?
But it would go some way, wouldn't it? To know, okay, those people that do VAR, they're not even, they're not ex-players, they're not referees, then there's no bias. They're trained. And obviously, if they do make, like on any other job, if you make mistakes, maybe you got 3 strikes and you're out, like a normal job, right? And you train someone else, but it can be done.
But
if they don't like football, If they don't,
job. Yeah, but it can
they
be a
don't like
job, right?
football.
You know what I mean? I guarantee you, there are people that work in banks. They don't like banking. They don't fucking talk about banking on their day off and watch videos about it. But they work in a bank. People work in a bake. Do you know what I mean? It's a job. If it pays well, and you're dedicated to doing a good day's work, and you're trained, that's all it is. Do you know what I'm getting at?
But
So why
Garrett,
can't they do it for that? Make it a good paid job. It's a skilled job. You're trained. You've got responsibility. You're making decisions. You take pride in your work, and that's it.
but Stan, that's kind of like all these NFL, like almost all their referees are like lawyers on the side. That's their main job, is being a lawyer, and
Okay.
football is secondary job. But they still love doing it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you just have to get people who could. I mean, saying like you are a fan and you're from Manchester, so you can't referee a game because it's Manchester, means you can't do your job. That's like saying that a player who lived in Manchester, supported Manchester all the way up until they became a professional, now goes and plays for a rival from another part of England, can't do their job. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen for players, right? This player who has been a Manchester United fan all their life. They are really good at football. They get a chance to go play professionally. Now they're going to play for Arsenal. They do a good job. They don't for me, the problem is whether you have accountability in the structure of your association, and they don't. They don't, because we're thinking that, you know what, just because they're from Manchester, they can't do a good job. And we know they can, because we see them go to Europe and perform. We see them go and compete and referee games in the Champions League, and they do a decent job. They come back to England, you can't get them to do anything, right? It's like, so for me, it's more the PGMOL going out and finding foreign referees and all this type of stuff. It's still for me, an issue with the way that they run their business. Yeah.
I also heard a whisper that some of the British referees, that during the week, when they're not, refereeing out, Premier League games, and they're out in Saudi Arabia, they have a second job, so to speak, and they get paid for refereeing out there. And I honestly think that if that is the case, that referees from the Premier League are going out there and they're being paid by the money. If you follow the money, it's probably coming back from people that have concerns in the Premier League, i.e., they have teams that they're paying money into the Premier League, and those referees, if they are working between those two leagues, for me, that's a conflict of interest. Someone told me that is the case. I don't know if it is, but if it is, then that's a conflict of interest, because they're being paid by owners. Do you know what I mean? Who own clubs in England, and then they're making decisions, and they're thinking to themselves, "Well, I don't want to upset. I don't want to bite the hand that feeds me." At the end of the day, the goose that's laying the golden egg. Extra money in the pocket. Who knows? It's a conflict of interest. If that's
recently,
true.
Michael Oliver flew out to Saudi Arabia to referee a match, and then he came back to do a Premier League game.
Was it a proper match?
What, in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, was it a proper league game he refereed, or a charity thing?
It was in the Saudi Pro League. And then
that's conflict of interest, man. That's a conflict.
Then he came back. There was controversy about it, because he then went on to referee.
Conflict of interest, man.
Yeah.
So if you're a Newcastle or a City match, and you're like, interesting, Yeah.
It's like having a man in a dock in court who's up for murder, and it just turns out that his judge is his brother. That's a conflict of interest. You've got to change the judge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I said, I think it's more of how you run your business than it is who you hire. Because if you don't have the quality up top, then it doesn't really matter who you bring in. It's still gonna be a poorly run system, a poorly run organization, and that's what we got right? No accountability. So as long as there's no account, like somebody can get fired today for not doing a good job, and then get promoted to a job teaching the up and coming officials. How does that work, right? How does that work? You get fired at your job, and they go, this is just a slap on the wrist, but don't worry. Come next year, you'll have a better job. A job with a responsibility for the new referees coming in. What? How does that work? How does that work?
It's all about those top four Saudi teams having so much money because they're owned by the fund, the $400 billion fund. Like the teams that you kept seeing in the summer, Gary, that these Saudi teams were buying all these players. Was only 4 Saudi teams because there are the 4 that are owned by that fund.
I mean, it's like someone who works for McDonald's moonlighting at Jack in the Box.
Yeah, no, it's like you said, the perception is just not right. I mean, it doesn't smell right, doesn't look right, and they want you to believe that whatever the referees are doing.
Yes, Dan, I just said it's like someone working at McDonald's moonlighting at Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
The whole thing about now, I mean, I don't go to games in the Premier League anymore because I live in Canada, but I used to go when I lived in England, and I can only imagine that you're there in the stadium and there's a goal, and then you want to celebrate and you're waiting, you're looking. Have you heard the delay? That's not how it's supposed to be, man. Do you know what I mean? Players not knowing to celebrate because they're waiting, and oh God, it's really. Isn't there a new thing coming in next season? Some sort of automated offside technology.
Yeah, so
the ball. It's going to be in the ball. They're going to have the technology that will determine whether a move is offside or not.
So is everybody else that have like a chip in their boot? Is that
No, it's going to be in the ball. It's going to be in the ball. Somehow the ball will determine if a player's offside.
Okay.
It's supposed to be faster, and there's no drawing lines and stuff anymore. So technology works in other
There's no Lee Mason operating VAR.
So basically, what they're going to do is give the VAR official less to do, but more to screw up. Essentially,
I think the thing is, though, when we heard about VAR and what it was supposed to be about, the way it was kind of described, I suppose a lot of people are thinking, well, if it's going to make the game fairer and make the results correct, then I'm all for it. But then it's one of those things that it sounds really good on paper, but then when it's implemented and you see how it actually works, and it's fucking taking time to decide this and that, and they're drawing these fucking lines all over the place and looking at shoelaces and nasal hairs, and it's just becoming too much.
You know what? They don't even show the lines when it's going to be controversial.
I mean,
like they only show it yeah.
But what's weird?
Did anyone see the Coventry Man United game at the weekend? Coventry had a last-minute goal disallowed because the player's toenail was offside.
Yeah.
But doesn't that just go back to a clear and obvious? Obviously, if it's a toenail,
I agree, Stefan.
Clear and obvious.
Yeah.
On paper, it sounded great. Like, okay, it's going to get all the, but the way it's being the way it's actually happening, and
no, well, see the whole. And I've said this before.
Sometimes,
they're trying to be perfect in officiating the game as opposed to just cleaning up mistakes, right? They don't want to clean up mistakes, right? Because that looks bad on the official, but they want to be as perfect as they can in other aspects of it. And it's like, no, you don't need that. If they let the referee make the call, and if they made a mistake, yes, you pull it. Like if they say it's a red card, and you're like, dude, he never even touched him. What are you talking about? If he says it was a handball and he's like, no, it came off his knee. Those types of things, correct the mistakes. They don't want to correct the mistakes because then that would show that they're not good. guess
But-
what?
but
They're
like-
not good. They're not good anyway. So
other
why don't you just
thing-
correct the mistake?
the other thing
Let's
that
be-
they need to, the other thing that they need to implement, I think, would solve a lot of problems. At the end of every match, we hear from managers, right? We hear from both sets of managers. We even hear from a captain or a couple of players telling us what they thought about it. Why can't they also then, after that, have the referee and maybe two officials, and then they ask that decision that you made at such and such a minute with such, can you tell us more about that? You know, why can't they explain their decisions? You know, and I guarantee it's like something they always say, oh, they want to be in the limelight. If they want to be in the limelight, let's give them the fucking spotlight, man, and let them get right in it.
Because Howard Webb,
they'd be better.
Because Howard Webb is
talk
afraid.
the camera, they'd make better decisions. If they had
Because
to
Howard
explain
Webb
them.
is afraid to. Because Howard Webb is afraid to let them loose. That's why.
But
And
isn't that crazy?
let's
Why
be
can't we
honest.
hear what's in their
There's nothing
minds?
wrong
Why
with-
can't we hear why they made that decision? Maybe it would help, right? But they're never going to do that. And the other thing that I really hate is, you know, like you're a manager, you've been fucked over by the officials. But if you say anything like you thought the refereeing was terrible or was schoolboyish, and you know they shouldn't be refereeing in this league or whatever, you get done for it. I really hate that old schoolboy. You're not allowed to say anything out of line. You're not allowed to give your opinion and stuff. Well, it was crap today. They need to do better. Why is that not allowed? Why do you get fined for
You
that?
can say that, but you can't say that they're cheating is the way it's supposed to be set up.
Well, I don't know. Look at
Inconsistency. So maybe it's not
Arteta got
cheating,
fined,
but
and
they don't even know how to do their
he didn't
job,
say cheating.
and that's the problem. They're not doing their job. You know what I mean?
Let's be honest. There's nothing wrong with the technology. It's the people who work the technology that's wrong. You're still dealing with referees who don't know the rules of the game. There's nothing wrong with VAR itself. The technology is there. It's just the referees don't know how to use it.
But it's like offsides. It's supposed to be a non-scoring part of your body isn't supposed to be offside, but they're judging elbows and hands and all that stuff on the line. It's like, no, it's not supposed to be that.
They make
We
these
got
shit
Lonzo
decisions,
joining
and then
us.
the
Welcome to
final
the show.
whistle goes, right? They pick up the ball and they just scurry off down the tunnel, and that's the end of it. They should be held accountable. Managers are held accountable. Players are held accountable. It's about opinions. You know, why did you do this? Oh, how did you think the game went? You can ask referees about their decisions, and why can't they tell us a little bit more about that? You know, I mean, they're the officials. We're not allowed to hear from the officials of the game. It's ridiculous. They're sheltered. They're protected, like you know, like an endangered species or something. It's pathetic. You know, they want to be in the spotlight, then put them in the spotlight. Let's give them a bright spotlight and a camera and a microphone, and they can talk to their hearts of content. But they scurry off like thieves in the night. It makes me sick. Do you know, I can't wait till we get to the day where we don't need referees. We have AI doing it all. An AI that knows the rules of the game. It's been programmed into it, and it just knows what it's fucking doing.
The AI, and they do that in baseball in the minor leagues. Like they figured out how to set up the cameras and do everything. And
then when
the
Bruno
way it
Fernandes
ends up,
complains
like,
at that AI ref, instead of getting booked, it goes mental and just like, you know, pulls his intestines out and goes out of control.
but I think they figured out using that
Hello there.
AI and like Major League that they were like 95 to 98% accurate. The refs were to start with, but they use these cameras set up in the midfield to judge.
It's all about consistency and all of that, right? It's all about consistency. So Alonzo, we're talking about officials now. We've gone all over the place, and now we're talking about officials. So, what are your thoughts on the officials? I don't necessarily, Red John. I don't necessarily believe English referees are all bad. Maybe because they haven't gone out there and found the best ones is a problem, but I don't think it's where they come from. I think it's just it's more of who did you hire the right people, English referees? Lonzo, what you say about refereeing in England?
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I'm not gonna lie that it's not great, and it kind of shows you that. I just saw a video that Danny from the PFG just sent out, and it talked about how how the referees, right, kind of play favoritism towards club like Man City, and how horrible, they have like an agenda that every call should go Man City's way. Like you guys were talking about, Stan, that how I think it was Lawrence or yourself that were talking about how Brighton got a free kick, or City got a free kick because Foden, got his legs under him, or he dove. And so, how many times have they watched that? How City get the right calls in their half, and it seems like there's corruption all about it, because you want the teams that are hard in their league. Even Arsenal have gotten caught a couple of times with bad calls going against them. The call against Newcastle brings to mind. They ball it for like 5 minutes trying to figure out a decision, and there's no decision, so they call it against Arsenal because that's the thing to do, right? That's what the league wants. Doesn't want Arsenal to win the title, so there's little nuances that kind of, as fans, that they make you wonder, right? And then you see today how Foden get a free kick out of nothing, and they score off that free kick. And well, again, City are just a better team because of that, so to speak. So there's evidence there that referees don't want to call calls, or don't want to have the time to actually do anything about it. They just point to the foul and just give it to them. It's kind of unfair because because of this, those few referees that are actually good at their job get caught out. Don't really get a proper respect because they're afraid to call a close foul, or a call that's not given in the pinnacle moment of the game. So they're there to just stay stuck, and it's disappointing because it's just a mess right now, and most of the time, City get calls because they're City and they're a machine, and it gets really boring after a while that you already know who the champion's going to be because of that.
Yep. Say hello to Lolo, who's joined us. Welcome to the show, Lolo. Yeah. No, it's like I said, once again, it's a institutional problem. It's not one referee over another referee. It's just it's poorly run from the top, and it just trickles down. And this is what we get.
And what annoys me the most is as well, sometimes when it's really blatant that they've messed up, they actually have the temerity to send you an apology letter to your club. They're at the stage now where they don't even bother writing his apology letters out. They've just got them photocopied where it says "Dear blank," and then they go, "We've got to send a letter out. Who's it to this week?" It's to Crystal Palace. They're just writing Crystal Palace. Everything's already there. Next week, let's put Arsenal. This is ridiculous. It's so they've got the balls to send apology letters. What does that do?
They're not worth the paper they're written on, Stan.
Some of their mess ups can cost a lot of money to some clubs. And I still go back to that last season back, that the Brentford result that they called for us. That really hurt, man. That really hurt.
Yeah, I mean, Lee Mason, too lazy to draw a line on the pitch, too busy eating a sandwich.
Unbelievable.
And then the thing is that the PGMOL suspend him for the rest of the season, and then they bring him back as a trainer to train people to work VAR. I mean, what the heck is that all about?
Yeah, and
you can't write the shit up.
Getting a work release program from prison to work as a school caretaker. And he's like, "What are you doing, man?
Yeah,
what are you doing?"
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's just a terrible system, and the only thing you can do is try to to score. Even though you might get, you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt, so you might as well just go out there and try and score a goal.
And the
You
good
will
thing
get
is that if we
opportunities
do
to,
win the
so,
league, it will
yeah.
be in spite of the referees. Do you know what I'm getting at? It would, not only would we have won the league, we would have done it in spite of the referees trying to fuck it up. Because we are, they are sort of like, working behind the scenes. No doubt about it.
Mm.
There's shenanigans going on.
I mean,
the thing that referees are going to Saudi Arabia. I mean, that's bad enough, man. That should not be allowed. That's a conflict of interest right there.
Yeah, just think that goal that Newcastle scored against us at St James's Park could cost us the league title if it comes down to it.
Yeah.
Well, the giving up a goal late in the Fulham match also could be the difference as well. So we've got some of that on us.
Yeah, I know.
Some of that on other people as well.
But it's that incident at St James's Park.
Yeah, but the 2 points we dropped against Fulham, that's all on us.
Yeah,
we're kicking a free kick and we get scored on afterwards. That's more outrageous. Yes, we have to deal with that, but that was something Arsenal did as a whole, right?
So Lawrence, as being a lifetime Premier League fan or top flight, whatever you want to say of it, do you think I should go back to when they had the amateur refs and not these guys that are paid? Then they it's for good buddy system.
It doesn't matter whether they're professional or amateur. They should know the rules of the game. It's the same thing. I mean, I've been watching Arsenal. I keep saying this. I've been watching Arsenal for nearly 60 years, right? And I've seen crap refereeing during that time. And the thing is these referees are as bad, if not worse, than the ones that I first saw when I first started watching football.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what they are.
Those guys are amateur, not professionals. And
so you don't want professionals refereeing professionals on the pitch. Doesn't make any sense to me. They should be properly trained. They should be properly trained. They should be accountable for what they do on the pitch, right? Because they're responsible for that game. That's their game. Everything that goes on that pitch is theirs. So I don't amateur not. It's got to be professional. It's a professional league. Amateurs trying to do it doesn't make any sense, right? No. You just the whole point is they have to be qualified to do the job, and we're seeing case after case after case that these officials aren't properly properly prepared and trained to do their job.
Gary, based on what you see and stuff, do you know what an offside is? Based on how it's implemented different all the time. It should be a straightforward thing, but it's not.
Well, they've
Same with
changed the
clear
rule.
and obvious.
Since I've been watching it, they've changed the offsides rule. That in itself is crazy, right? They just changed the rule supposedly to make it less subjective, and it's still subjective. So it's not, it should be really easy. That's where I like the what is it? The daylight rule. If there's space between you and the defender, then you're offsides, right?
It's supposed to be beneficial to the attacking team.
Yeah, it gives them.
That went out the window years ago, didn't it, Lauren? Remember that, Lauren? That went out the window.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't make this game perfect.
Striker never gets the benefit. It was supposed to be that the striker always sort of had the benefit, right? But that went out the window. Also, as well, do you remember ball to hand? You had handball, but you had ball to hand. That went out the window as well. Now you can basically kick the ball at someone's hand and win a penalty.
Yeah, that's so stupid. And
I do it in FIFA all the time.
and Gary, you forgot when Jorginho laid the ball off to Son for that equaliser early in the season at the Emirates. That could cost us the league.
No, we've had our opportunities to get whatever points we
Yeah.
needed, right? I mean, the referees may have taken some away from us, but I mean, you can also say in that Newcastle match, yes, we lost 1-0, but we were porous, like we've always been in front of goal, clinical in our passing, clinical in our shooting. You know how many goals we are like left on many a pitch this season, and look how many we scored, right? The first half of the last game, there were at least 3 or 4 goals we could have gotten there, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a total, everything. We're getting screwed everywhere. We're not doing our job, and the referees aren't going to help us, right? So, yeah.
I honestly think, man, seriously, that we might not win the league this season, but I think that we're going to smash it next season, because I honestly think that Liverpool are going to be a shadow of their former self. When you lose a legacy manager, someone that's considered a legacy manager, much in the same way when Man United lost Alex Ferguson and us losing Mr. Wenger, there's always a flux. And not only are they going to be losing the manager, they're going to be losing a couple of key players. Salah's on his way. He's going somewhere else. And there's a couple of other players that I think are going to be leaving. So they're not going to be as much of a problem for us, which leaves it open. And for the amount of money that it sounds like that we're going to be investing, the investment is going to be quite high this summer. It's going to be around about 250 million. And I don't know if that includes outgoings or whether outgoings could even make that bigger, but it's going to be sizable. And from what I've been reading, I know there's a lot of clickbait out there, but I used to really hate the way that Arsenal used to do a lot of our business so late in the fucking window. And you'd see other teams like Liverpool would announce, months before the season ended, that they've signed Naby Nketiah. It's all done. Season's not even finished yet. It's in the bag, and he's going to join next. And we're doing it now. We're already speaking to people. I've heard that there's been bids made. I've heard that there's been bids made already. That bids have been made for some players. I know there's a lot of clickbait out there, but I think that we're going to get our business done early. We've got a lot of money to spend, and we are going to be in a real good stead for next season. And I don't want people to think, oh, you're making excuses for Arteta if we don't win anything this season. I'm not. But I'd never felt this team is quite complete yet. And if we do win the league this season, I think that we would have really earned it, because we've got a short squad. This squad, I don't think has enough about it to quite win the league and go deep in 4 competitions, because we just don't have a good supporting cast. We have a lot of third stringers that are being given the opportunity of second stringers, and they ain't cutting the mustard. But I really think that's going to be addressed, and I feel really positive. I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah.
I really
Stan,
yes,
we need to bring in 8. We need to bring in 8 signings. If we do not bring in 8 signings, it's going to be a poor transfer.
I don't know what the magic number is, but I do believe that whoever we bring in, they need to be quality players. Players players will run for their money and help those current players get even better. Not second stringers.
Yeah,
quality
we
players.
need to bring in players. We need to bring in players that can start for us and can push players to the bench. Lonzo, what do you think about up and coming transfer business? I mean, like Lawrence said, I mean, I know there's 9 players on my list that it's okay if they leave. So we have a lot of holes to fill. Lonzo, talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, guys, I think that, Arsenal have learned from their past mistakes, and they've gotten their signings done pretty earlier than usual, which is a good thing if you're an Arsenal fan. So I agree with Stan. There's a lot of people who have yet to produce, like the Nketiahs, like the Bruce Nelsons, the Emerson Rose, unfortunately, like Onanes,
Suarez,
some others. It'd be interesting to see if Tierney comes back. Everyone knows how I feel about Zinchenko. I just hope that Tierney can make it again. However, there's that injury risk as well. And there's a lot of people who need a chance, like a lot of youngsters, like So, I know Patino wants playing time, but can they really afford? Can Arsenal really give him that? As well as there's a right back, Norton Coffey, I think his name is. He's on loan right now. That's a youngster that I wouldn't mind playing at Arsenal as a right back. I know there's a lot. He's probably around a third string, but he's very good from what I've seen. He's also from England as well. So there's a lot that they could do there because they do have a lot of players on loan as well. But yeah, we need to buy players. I would probably stick with the striker, center back, and also a midfielder. Because we're very thin at midfield.
Left back. I think left back is somewhere that we're going to see another left back coming.
Yeah, Stan, but
Mendy. They're looking at Mendy, Real Madrid.
Mendy. Yeah.
What about Timber? Doesn't he get a chance?
Yeah, but I think the good thing about Timber is you play
one of those Swiss Army knives that can play in 3 positions, right? He's never really played in left back until he's done it for us, and he got injured, and then he done it again in the under 21s. But by rights, initially he's a centre back and a right back like Ben White. But I still think, from what I hear, is that a left back is a position that they want to invest in. They're not happy with the left back situation at all.
He did. Yeah, right. Timber did good for me at left back, so I see he did as good as any of our left backs. And I only got, like I said, I only got to see 45 minutes of it in a real game. But from what I saw in the preseason and whatnot, I think he's got, he looked okay.
But maybe as well, he allows you to free up a Saliba so that Saliba doesn't have to run himself into the ground. He maybe even allows you to free up a Ben White, so Ben White doesn't have to run himself into the ground, because we kind of are in that position where it's like there's a couple of players that if in the next few games that we have in this running, if they buckle and go out because they're in the red, or like Arsene Wenger used to say, they're in that red zone, we could be really light. If Odegaard, something happens to Odegaard, I dread to think what happens there. If something happens to Declan Rice, if something happens to Saka, something happens to Ben White, something happens to either Saliba or Megalegs, these are key positions. And we look, do you know what I mean? There's no one that I see that can come in to some of those positions and pick up the slack.
Yeah, Stan, like you said, Stan, like he could play multiple positions. And the one position that I think he could fit in really well is at the number 6, and have Declan Rice play at number 8 with Odegaard. Now, granted, that's because the party's leaving, and that's because Ernini can no longer hack it anymore. I wouldn't mind seeing Timber play number 6 if he could, and we're thin at that position. But yeah, I mean, I think people forget about Timber. People forget about Odegaard as well. Odegaard did a good job this year so far, and he should still be playing, starting. At least that's what I think. So right now, I think midfielder and a striker, or maybe a center back, are really our needs right now to get by and try to challenge City next year for the title.
Yeah. I don't think Timber's ever played in the midfield. So anywhere on the back line, he's solid. So I think that's
KVOR's played that role, but I don't think Timber's played that role.
Red job.
I think Kiwior is behind Timber for me. Timber hasn't even played, So that's kind of where I feel.
We've not really seen Kiwior even playing his real position. His real position is in Megalegs' spot, right? That's where he's played for club and country, right?
That's how bad we are at left back. Think about what you just said. That's how bad he is. That's how bad we are at left back, that we would rather put our only center back at left back and just risk, punishing our center backs. That's how bad we are.
But look at like the last 8 windows or so, like 6 of them we've bought somebody as that left back role.
But is it how
crazy?
Is it how bad we are at left back, or is it similar to what Pep's doing at Man City? Because that player that they bought, was it Gavardio, is a left-footed centre back, And where they seem to be playing him now, they seem to be playing him at left back.
back.
And there seems to be a bit of a fashion where your back four are all centre backs playing in. You have centre backs now playing in full back positions.
Even
Ben White.
Tomiyasu is
Exactly.
also a center back. Yeah.
Ben White.
And the same with Tierney for Country.
Timber.
He would play the left center back role.
He's a left back.
Fullbacks be on the unemployment line.
Yeah.
But I wonder if Tierney come back too from loan, because it's a shame that his injury record isn't that great. You
It's
know,
not going to get any better, Alonzo.
Right. I know, but still, that's a player that I wish weren't injured all the time. You know, he would have made a difference, I believe.
I mean, Partey is a player that makes
Partey
a difference, and we can't get him on the pitch. I mean, we would if we're letting Partey go, then there's no way Tierney's coming back.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't. The math, the business doesn't make any sense to do that.
Yeah, I know. It's just wishful thinking, guys.
No, I know. I'm trying to just. I don't want you to. No. I'm just trying to pull you back now. Tierney is now. We need to bring in somebody, more available and actually who does whatever Arteta wants. So I kind of feel that's where we are with that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it should be.
Hey, Gary, can I bring something up?
If you want.
Right.
No, you can't. I just thought about it.
Just tell it no, Gary. No.
It's got no. I'm not going to mention crayons.
Oh,
relax.
Crayons. All right.
Okay. Now, I called up SoFi Stadium ticket office to find out how much the tickets are for the Man United friendly. And I asked I asked them if they had a area where all the Arsenal fans are going to be standing or sitting to watch the game. And they said, yeah, there's two areas. The one area with the ticket, along with all the surcharges that are added to the price of the ticket, $300. The next level, I think it's the second or third level, $350 with all the extra charges. Now you don't even get to see a Premier League game in England for $200. I mean, this is price gouging at its worst.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know how you feel about that.
No, you know what? It's because for when I saw the match over here at East Rutherford, it was probably about one. I actually bought 4 tickets. I couldn't get enough people to show up, so I sold 2 of them. But I sold the 2 for I made some money on it, because it was like $140 for those tickets, and I was like, ooh. Right. So they realized people they sold out so quickly. That's probably why the prices have now gone up, because they know people are going to go. And if the price is too low, they know people are just going to buy them and maybe resell them, because that's what I did. But it wasn't because I was just trying to make money. It was just because I couldn't get people to go. So I think that's
it's only an exhibition.
I think
it's an exhibition game.
But they know, it's a one-time thing. Like it's a one-time thing. But once again, they are back in California doing it, right? It's one of those. They kind of get you with that, right? It's the only time you're gonna get to see Arsenal play in your neighborhood, basically. Close to home. And you know what? This is what Stan does. Yeah, I said Stan.
Not
Stan
me.
Kroenke. Yeah, he's all about making money off of his real estate. How is he gonna do that? Guess what? Charge those exorbitant amounts for tickets for a team. A glorified practice, yeah. That's what those are.
Yeah, I mean, I went to the Barcelona game last year. That was at the SoFi. Even then, I had to shell out nearly $300 for a ticket. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
That's why all these Premier League teams, Spanish teams, everybody's going to America every year now because they can make so much money off the
Exactly.
ticket sales.
Yep. This is an expensive way to go watch the game. A helicopter for 2 hours. Yeah. I bought it off. You know what? I bought it off. Yeah, Ticketmaster. But I had to have a code. I think I had to have a code. I got that through the Arsenal
Yeah.
America. You know.
Yeah, they give you those codes now before you can.
So I was able to get it. Yeah, no, it was a good price for the ticket, and you know, it was good to see Arsenal play. So I've seen them play in a preseason match against the Red Bulls. Henri's was playing for Red Bull at that time, and I've seen him play in the North London Derby, and I've seen him play over here against Manchester United. So yeah.
I
So
can
what
remember
you're going to
25 quid for a ticket. Mad. 25
So
quid face value.
Yeah.
So you're going to the Liverpool game in Philadelphia?
No, it's the middle of the week, and it's not that easy for me to get there. Like I would have to take off days off before and after if I really want to enjoy myself. You know what I mean? Like it's just not the convenient. Like I don't understand why that game's on a whatever it is, Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever. Just yeah, no. And then like you said, the prices of the tickets is like double what I paid like now. You know, just for the cheap seats basically. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, people will go just because you're gonna have people from from England and stuff. They're gonna want to go and watch a match. They might, and I think because you saw it like a lot of the shows, right? A lot of the YouTube channels, they would just go to all the games, right? That's how much money they must be making that they can go and do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm worried about because I've got it on good authority. Arsenal are going to play a third game out here in Las Vegas.
Oh boy, yeah.
I'm worried about how much that's going to cost. Yeah,
I could go to that one.
It hasn't been announced who they're going to be playing, but they have booked a third game against an unnamed opponent in Las Vegas.
Yeah. And you just have to remember that it's Euros as well, so you probably won't see any of the starters for Arsenal outside of maybe I don't know who you're going to see, right? Because your Saka's, your Rice, your Gabriel, Saliba. I guess Ben White will be around, right? So there you go.
Yeah, Ben White will be there. He ain't going.
Ben might be playing up front. Ben might be playing up front.
Yeah,
he can top his tan up in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Buying the tickets and selling them is like the thing is if you're buying a ticket for $300, I don't know what the resale is on those type of tickets.
Well, that's what's bad. You buy them off Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster resells them, so they're making like 8 times what the face value originally was. It's all going to
Tony, is there a blackout where you are?
Tony, as Tony said, Tony's doing an episode of MTV Cribs where he's showing you everything. So right now he's in the basement, or is this the sewer? I don't know which one it is.
Don't you remember when Tony first joined us? He had the fucking FBI outside. Maybe they've got the power to flush him out.
I know exactly.
All right, to flush
all right,
him out.
Tony. We're gonna cut the power. If you don't come out with your arms.
Remember at the beginning of the show, right? Tony was there peeping through the window. We saw the lights, and Tony was just like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do the podcast. I'm gonna ignore him." And they're like, "He ain't coming out." So they've cut the power and the water, and they're trying to flush him out.
So they're gonna sending the dogs. There's gonna be gas being pumped in there, and they're like try anything.
In. That's the next move. It's gas. Yeah, gas is the next move. Textbook. Oh, Tony's going outside.
You're gonna send in that robot, the robot in there with the the knockout gas to knock Tony out. So he can come in there and just walk in and roll him out. tickets were not for resale. I don't know about that. There's no way they can do that.
Tony, get yourself in the bunker.
Yeah, Stones. That's not a good. That's not a bad price for tickets. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, who's gonna be watching it since all these players are gonna be doing Euros?
Yeah, and even if they're healthy, like if Arteta hopefully has learned anything, those players that are going to Euros, your top players, Arteta, they don't need to go to California. Now we're talking Vegas. I mean, talk about like not being able to recover, because if Arteta, if he's going to send him out there, he's going to be asking him to play. Yeah. We got trophies to win next year. If we don't get them, we get one this year. It was odd 9 years ago. Wow. Okay. Yeah. No,
Right,
they
gents,
got
listen,
us.
I'm gonna leave you now because my dinner is ready. My
No
missus is
problem.
serving
No
up,
problem. We're probably gonna be heading out in a little bit, anyways. We're almost hitting that 2-hour mark. Anything you
got
want to say
shrimp.
before you go?
No, only that I've got king prawn linguine, so I'm looking forward to that.
There you go.
So,
One thing before you go, Stan.
what's that?
Hold on. I'm prepared.
Oh, for
You know
fuck's
what?
sake!
We really. I mean, yeah. You know what? The rumors are
I got a
true.
feeling I'm
Whatever
going
you
to be
think.
seeing this on the news, isn't I?
This is
I'm going to
like
be seeing
cops.
this on the news later.
It's cops in Oklahoma. It's like you're gonna see the episode of Cops in Oklahoma. It's gonna be Tony. This guy in his wheelchair was able to hold off a whole entire
I can
station.
just see it now, right? They
Station
pump
of
the
police
gas in through the
officers.
windows, right? They kick the door in, and Tony's just sat in his wheelchair with his gas mask on with a shotgun pointing at the door, laughing. Anyway,
All right, Stan.
thank you for
Thanks for
having me
joining.
on. See you later.
Stan's a wake up
Cheers,
having a
Dan.
nightmare or a daymare of that tomorrow.
Lonzo, anything you want to talk about that you may not
Yeah,
had chance to?
I'm just really excited about the game on this past Tuesday. I didn't watch it, but I watched it here today, and pretty impressive. To hold Chelsea scoreless, and having Ben White scored 2 goals in right back position rather, and just a dominant performance really. And I hope that they do the same against Spurs. I don't see why not. I think keeping Son at bay is really important. I don't know if Madison's gonna play, but they all suck anyway. So yeah, I mean, I hope that the good run continues up until May 19th, and so I'm really excited. Kind of shows you our strengths and everything all coming together, and just seeing how Raya is on his way to getting a Gold Glove. Yeah, so really good turning points. Looking forward to how the rest of the season ends up, but I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, this is a big one, and as everybody said, it's a derby, so it doesn't matter where they sit on the table. It's going to be a big game. They're going to be up for it. Their fans will be up for it.
Yeah,
We
and I'm also
can send
sorry,
them
Gary.
home.
So I'm really happy that Partey is really starting to find his groove again. I know it's kind of tough for him not being able to play as much as he would want, but I just hope that we see that midfield again with Partey and Rice and Odegaard playing number 8. It's really important that Arteta sticks with what can get him there, and I'm very excited about Partey playing again and down the middle.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. You see it Partey one more time, and maybe another time in Old Trafford, man. Just have him play the road games, and let
Yeah.
Jorginho get the other games, and then they'll see how. I think we just going to have to be lucky. You have to be lucky. Look, Spencer's joined us. Welcome to the show, Spencer. Let's see. Spencer is a Bronco. Oh, Bo Nix. They got a quarterback. I don't know. I think that to me that might be the worst quarterback in the draft. But all right. I hope it works out for you. Tony, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, it's like we were finally clinical, finally did, and you can see what the difference is when you finish your shots. Chelsea's not that horrible of a team.
They are that horrible
So,
of a team, Tony. Have you not watched them all season?
yeah, but the whole league's that way, Gary. Look
Even
at
the whole
that.
league's that way. We're scoring more goals than ever. Come on, you're talking about more goals than
No,
ever, and you're
no,
talking
I'm
about we're
saying look.
horrible. No,
I'm saying look at the golf there is between fourth and fifth, and all those like places up to like ninth. It's horrible between fourth and ninth. It's a big drop off.
that's why it takes a while to get to the point, right? I think that's the problem. People think just because you're Chelsea and you're Manchester United and you're that team that you just because of the name, it's going to work out. It takes some work, right?
Yeah.
It takes some work. Arteta has shown it takes some work. City is in the place they are. They got to get the players. Liverpool, same thing, right?
Yep.
So no, I think it just takes work to do it. Lawrence, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Just let's carry on where we left off at Tottenham on Sunday. I just love it if we turn them over, keep another clean sheet, and we can all celebrate St. Tottenham Day.
Very true. Yeah, let's go out with a bang. You know, let's empty the toilet bowl.
Yeah.
Quiet it. Get their fans out of there. All right. I guess we'll do this. Lawrence, any score prediction for the game? Let's just do it.
3-0 to Arsenal.
Lonzo, you're muted. I don't know. I think that's you, not me. You think you muted yourself.
So team 4-0 to Arsenal.
4-0. There you go. Tony.
I was I go 3-0 like Lawrence. I'll stick with 3-0.
There you go. There you go. I'm just gonna go crazy then. I'm just gonna go 5-0 again. How about it?
That'd be nice, yeah.
Just shut them up and get out of it. You know, score early and often, and then rotate some players in that might get a chance to come in there and do some things.
Like we did at Christmas in 1978.
Yeah, like Fabio Vieira looks like he wanted to score a goal right when he came in. Maybe we'll get a chance. This time you guys are going, yeah, guys are taking it cautious, 2-0. Yeah, the toilet bowl. It's been fun. 2-1 Arsenal. I don't want that. That's too close. I don't need any.
Yeah.
I don't want any stress, man. I've been asking for less stress in these games. You know, less stress in these games, please. So we're gonna head out of here.
Taking our heart medication to finish the game.
Yeah, I don't need any of that. Like, no, I don't want to give that team any kind of you know, any kind of thinking that they might get something out of this game. Nothing. They get nothing. They like it. Everybody, say good night. We'll see you guys on the next one. We should be back on Sunday talking about the Arsenal match. I don't know who will be here, if it's me or not. I do have something on the weekend, but we'll see how it all plays out. Everybody enjoy yourselves. We'll be back, and we'll see you on that one. If you haven't already, hit the likes, subscribe. See any comments here before we get out of here. December 23rd, Lawrence. I don't know what that is. And a win. Is a win? Is a win. Yeah, we're taking it, but I would like a nice win. Hera reckons. Oh, whatever. All right, we're out of here, people. We'll see you guys later.